Right. We want to discuss a very important topic today, which is growing your personal wealth or funds. Okay. Growing your money or personal wealth or funds. Okay. So we would borrow to be able to analyze this properly. We would refer to Napoleon Hill's book, which looks at the concept of conserving money. And this book is titled The Richest Man in Babylon. You should have a read of it. It is a very, very intelligent book and teaches you how to save and invest for the future. So basically, what you need to appreciate is that once you receive some income through your job or whatever it is, you should understand that you have been paid. Now, out of that amount of, let's say $1,000 comes to you through your salary or whatever, that $1,000 is what has come to you. Now you need to decide how much you're going to pay yourself out of the $1,000. So if you buy an item for $100, you have paid that person, that vendor, $100 out of the 900, out of the 1,000. So now you have paid yourself $900. If you spend up until $800 and you have only $200 left, what it simply means is that you have paid yourself $200 out of the $1,000 or $1,000. So for those of us who are in the habit of squandering all of our income, what it simply means is that, from the book that I've mentioned, from Napoleon Hill's book, you have spent your income paying others, leaving yourself out of the question. So what we prescribe, or what is prescribed, is that once you receive any income at all, decide how much you're going to pay yourself out of that income before you start spending. All right? Once you begin to do this, you realize that you'll be able to accumulate wealth much faster, much quicker than any other thing. You'll be able to save up enough money, which you can later on use for investment purposes. So in terms of growing your wealth or growing your money, jealously guard your revenue. Whatever amount of money that is coming in, see it as you paying yourself. Let that money, keep that money. Let that money work for you for your entire existence until you die. So if $1,000 comes to you, let that 1,000 cedis work for you. Invest that amount of money either in safe securities or risky ventures. Once you invest it, it is the interest that you can spend, because beyond that, you know that periodically that interest will still come back, but your capital will still be reserved. Okay? So as much as possible, make sure that you keep your expenses to the low or on the low, and you increase your income. So as you are increasing your income, you are also increasing your savings by jealously guarding your expenditure. Okay, the secret to wealth creation is all about increasing your revenue or sources of income and decreasing your expenditure. Many rich people, even though we see them with the flamboyant things and flamboyant houses and cars and so on, they are not paying for those items. It is one company, one investment, the returns on some investment, which they are spending on those things. So they know that even though I've spent this on that, it is from some returns I have received on some investment I've done. And I know that in the next couple of months, 2 or 3 months, even the same month, I would receive that amount of money back. So for example, if I want to spend $100, I should be convinced that my investments or the return on my investment from my portfolio will pay me more than that $100 within the next couple of months. Within the next month or next couple of months. If my investment portfolio cannot generate that level of interest, then what it simply means is that I am spending above my limit and I need to cap that expenditure. If you don't work out your revenue and savings patterns this way, you would be working in vacuum. After 30 years of working, you wouldn't even know what you've used all of that money for. But if you sit down and calculate how much has passed through your hands, you realize so much has passed through your hands. So my last words on this matter is that the simple equation for wealth creation is increasing your revenue whilst minimizing your expenditure. whatever expenditure you are making, you need to convince yourself, first of all, that this amount I'm spending, will the interest from my investments, from my portfolio, be enough to cover this expenditure? If not, then I'm spending above my limit. You probably shouldn't spend that amount or quantum, especially when you can avoid it or where you can avoid it. All right. Thank you, and see you for our next series. Bye-bye for now.